Right, so just come to lie down on your mats and you can start your music now. Just come to a comfortable lying position, whatever that looks like for you. So you can have the soles of the feet on the floor and the knees knocking together. You can bring your feet about as wide as your mat, or you can have the legs extended out and the arms down beside you. Then you can close your eyes if it's comfortable for you to do so. We're in a safe space in the safety of our own homes, so you should feel pretty secure. And then just starting to kind of tune into the breath in the body. How does it feel today? And as you start to breathe, can you kind of feel all the places of stickiness, of compression from sleep start to melt away? And then just kind of coming to notice your body in space. So each part of your body that meets the ground. The backs of the legs, the back of the pelvis, the spine as it settles onto the ground, the back of the head and the shoulders. You make sure that your shoulders are gently away from your ears, so there's nice space between the ears and the shoulders, length through the back of the neck. And then just starting to maybe deepen the breath slightly. So maybe a count for 4 in, count for 4 out. Whatever your lung capacity feels today. And as you start to become a little bit more aware of your breath, can you also start to become aware of how it's filling the body? So imagine you're filling up, so filling from the base all the way through to the crown of the head. So with the inhale, you want the belly to rise, the breath to land in the pelvic bowl. And then slowly traveling upwards, so expansive rib cage, broad through the chest, light through the throat. And then as you exhale, everything softens. And just take the next 45 odd minutes to move and breathe and connect back into your body. It's been a tough week. I don't need to say much about that. We're all aware of what's going on, and having these times to come together, it's just a really nice time for us to connect, move our bodies. So this isn't going to be a strict vinyasa practice. There's going to be some wiggling, there's going to be some throwing of hips around. So just go with it. Have a smile, have a laugh. And then take both hands onto your body. So one hand onto your belly and one hand onto your heart space. Take a deep breath in through the nose. And then open the mouth. Audible exhale. Let's take 3 more deep breaths in. And let something go. And then 2 more deep breaths in. Exhale. And 1 more deep breath in. And exhale. Sorry guys, I had you all, there was a couple of people who have just joined. If you just come to lie down on your back. Nice guys, so everyone take a few more deep breaths into the belly. And then you're going to take your hands behind your thighs. And then start to roll up and down the spine. So you're going to come to balance just behind the sit bones. You can flare the toes so there's some connection from the foot back to the hip. And you can take this anywhere really. You can take the arms wide, maybe down to the floor, and then the toes touch behind you. Just feeling the massaging of the spine on the mat or the ground. And then coming to a seated position, cross-legged. You have a little cushion. You can sit on it. So sitting at the top of your mat, find your sit bones. Make sure that you are soft in your hips. Place your hands on the tops of your thighs. Give the elbows a little chicken dance shake so that your shoulders relax away from the ears. Close down your eyes again. And take a deep breath in into the belly. And then exhale through the mouth. One more deep breath in through the belly. And then exhale through the mouth. Nice, guys. So staying where you are, I'm just going to bring your fingertips behind you. So kind of to the back and out so that you can really broaden through the chest. Then we're just going to take the left ear down towards the left shoulder. So left ear down towards the left shoulder. And then we're going to make a big semicircle with the chin all the way to the other side. Right ear, right shoulder. And then come back up through the center. If you found some tension in your shoulders, give it a wiggle. And then coming onto the other side. Right ear down to right shoulder. Tracing big semicircles coming up to the left. And then back into the center. Just going to do one more on each side. So left ear, left shoulder. Big semicircle, making sure you're staying on the tips of the fingers. Come back into the center, one more. Right ear, right shoulder. And then come through the center. Nice, guys. And then take your hands behind you, interlace the fingers. You're going to draw the knuckles down and the chest up, and then have a little wiggle side to side to see if you can really unstick the shoulder blades from the back of the ribs. And then again, you can start to take some rolls in the neck. So the neck should feel a little bit more open now. Always making sure that you're marrying movement with breath, so the breath is aiding the movement. And then release. Bring your hands in front of you. You're going to interlace the fingers. Press the palms forward, dome into the back, so the heart space travels to the back of the space. Bring your chin towards your chest. And you're going to kind of do this motion like you're driving a car. So imagine your hands are the steering wheel and you're kind of steering side to side. Start to open up into the side of the body. Keep the breath connected to the movement. Starting to feel the side waist open up. And then come back into the center, press the space away. And then as you inhale, you're going to lift your palms towards the ceiling. So try to lower instead of doing this, shoulders away from ears. And then we're just going to lean from side to side. And then release. Big rolls through the shoulders. I'm sure we're all very stiff in this area from punching over tables, I know I've been on the sofa quite a lot. Maybe you take the fingertips on top of the shoulders and make big circles with the elbows. And then release. Bring your hands down onto the floor. We're going to come into a tabletop position. So you might need to lose the cushion. And come to stack your bones. So your shoulders are over your wrists, your pelvis is over your knees. Tops of the feet on the floor, or you can have the toes tucked, totally up to you. It's going to move you to some just plain cat-cows to begin with. So you're going to soften your belly, slight bend in the elbows, lift your chest and lift your gaze. And then as you exhale, we're going to press down through the palms, reach the heart to the ceiling, chin to chest, tailbone drops. Inhale, soften and open, lift the chest, lift the gaze. Exhale to round. Two more like this. Inhale to soften, open. Exhale to round. And then one more, inhale, open, soften. And exhale to round. And then coming back into neutral, so nice long spine. We're going to take this into some barrel rolls. So it's kind of the same movement as cat-cow, but you're going to start to move side to side as well. So I'm going to show you. You're going to come up into your cow. You're going to roll the body over to the right. Drop the chest down. Body comes over to the left. And then up and round. So we start to get the hips, the shoulders, the elbows into the movement as well. There's no right or wrong in this movement. Just starting to open into the spine now that we've released the shoulders. Make sure that you keep connected to the ground, really noticing every single teeny tiny movement, all the bones moving together. And then you can just start to take it anywhere that feels good. So you can start to sway the hips. You might want to come down into a child's pose and then roll the body back up. Just taking this time to really connect into the body. If there's any areas you know are really sticky, like the hips, you can give them a roll. And then come back into the center. Walk your hands slightly further out in front of you. Plug down through the palms, and you're going to sink the sit bones back to come into a child's pose. So you can have the knees wide or the knees together, and then just make sure that your forehead is relaxed down onto the ground. Really start to send the breath back into the pelvis, the back of the body. Notice any holding of tension. Can you release anything that's gripping? Take another deep breath into the back body. And then exhale through the mouth. We're going to slide back to sit on our heels. So you can keep the hands on the floor. I'm just going to slide back to sit on the heels. This feels really bad in your knees. You can come into a cross-legged position. Just roll the shoulders a couple of times up towards the ears. And then keeping the knees a little wider, you're going to reach your arms into the center. And then as you exhale, we're going to twist over to the right hand side. So as you come down, your right fingertips are going to come behind you, left hand on top of your right knee. So you want to find length from the tailbone all the way through to the crown of the head. Take a deep breath into lengthen. And then as you exhale, twist a little bit deeper. So your gaze is going to come over your right hand shoulder. And still feel the breath expansive in the belly. Make sure there's no gripping in the lower back, but can you still keep the spine long? So if you're really comfortable staying here, you can. If you want to take it to the next level, you're going to slide the right hand back until it grounds down onto the floor. Your chest is going to come towards the center again. You're going to lift the left arm up into the sky. Reach as far as you can. Press down into the palms. You're going to lift the pelvis away from the heels. So this could be this, really tiny. Could be halfway up. If you want to take it into more of a baby back bend, you can press the pelvis to the front of the room. Left fingertips lift up and open chest to the ceiling. And then exhale, come all the way down. Left hand on top of left knee, right hand on top of right knee. Find a nice long spine, deep breath in. And then exhale. Other side. Knees a little wider than usual. Inhale, sweep the arms up, palms together. As you exhale, take a twist to the left. So left fingertips come down behind you, right hand on top of left knee. Inhale to lengthen, relax your shoulders, lengthen the back of the neck. And then as you exhale, twisting from the middle of the spine. Again, releasing any holding in the lower back. And then if you're comfortable, stay here. If you want to take it up, you can slide your body back until the left hand plants down. Chest comes to the front. Reach the right fingertips up. You're going to reach through the right fingertips, press down through the left palm, and then lift the pelvis away from the heels. Again, it can be a couple of inches. It can be to a tabletop. If you want to take it into more of a back bend, press the pelvis towards the front of the room, right fingertips towards the back. Big breaths into the belly. And then very slowly coming all the way down. Very nice, guys. Bring your hands down in front of you, coming back into your tabletop position. So from tabletop, we're going to tuck the toes. We're just going to sink the sit bones back towards the heels and then come forward again. So we're just kind of lubricating into the knees, into the hips. You might want to drop the hips down towards the ground. And then the next time that the sit bones come back towards the heels, you're going to use the hands to lift the knees and then come into your downward facing dog. So as you come into downward facing dog, make sure your hands and feet are positioned for your body. So you might need to move them a little bit. Take a bend in the knees to begin with, and then press down through the palms so that the chest comes back towards the thighs. Ears are in line with your biceps. Make sure that your heels are lifted away from the ground to begin with. And then you can just start to take any little movement that feels good, padding through the feet, twisting through the spine, gaze comes underneath the armpit. If you've lost the breath, make sure you reconnect back in. And then coming to settle in your downward facing dog, so nice bent knees, press through the palms. We're going to rise really, really high onto the toes, so as high as you can. Bend your knees slightly, and then roll the body weight forward into a high plank. When you come into a high plank, heels come back, pelvis comes down. We're coming straight back to down dog, so bend the knees, slide the sit bones back. Gonna do that 2 more times. So inhale, rise high, bend the knees slightly, roll it forward, high plank. Exhale, bend the knees, slide the sit bones back, downward facing dog. 1 more deep breath in, roll it forward. And then exhale all the way back. You're gonna walk to the top of your mat, little tiptoes, to come to a forward fold. So your feet are hip width distance apart, about the hip width of your hips. Then you're just gonna allow the body to really kind of cascade over the front of the thighs. Again, you want a big, big bend in the knees, maybe so much so that the belly can rest on the thighs. And then just allow the crown of the head to draw down. You can take opposite grip of the elbows, maybe swaying side to side. And in your forward fold, can you really allow the front body to come all the way down? And then when you're done swaying, come to stillness in the center, release your arms. Soft bend in the knees, press down through the heels and start to roll up through the spine, start to stack the joints. All the way up, can you still see my head? Yes, I think so. As you rise up, you're going to sweep the arms up towards the sky, bring the palms together, reach through the middle finger, triceps behind the ears, open through the front body. Bend your knees, you're going to cactus your arms, open the chest. Take a breath in. And then as you exhale, keep the arms cactus, you're just going to drape yourself back down again. Sway side to side. Going to do that 2 more times. So make sure your feet are really spread, toes are apart. Inhale, roll up through the spine. So from the base of the pelvis all the way through to the crown of the head, super slow. Arms sweep up, palms to touch. Deep inhale, breath, bring the backs of the arms behind the ears, open through the front body and cactus the arms. Soft bend in the knees, inhale to open up. And then as you exhale, dive it forward. 1 more time, inhale, rolling up. Arms up, biceps behind your ears. Bend your knees, cactus your arms. Press the chest forward, squeeze the elbows together. And then just straighten into the legs, relax the arms beside you. Palms facing forward. Close down your eyes. Spread the toes, start to equally distribute the weight between the heel, the blade edge of the foot, and the ball of the foot. As you allow the fingers to curl in towards the palms. Take a deep breath in. And then as you inhale, sweep your arms over your head, palms to touch. As you exhale, bend your knees, forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. So your fingertips come onto your shins. You draw the shoulders down the back and lift the chest. Exhale, bend the knees, come down. Hands on the floor, you're going to step back into high plank, super slow. Lower your knees and untuck your toes. Shift the weight forward, bend the elbows, keep them close in towards the ribs. Come all the way down. So when you're on your belly, you might want to pick up your feet and lengthen them to the back of the mat. I quite like to come into my Sphinx arms like this and kind of wiggle the spine out of the base of the pelvis. And then you can really kind of lengthen through the front body to bring the chest down. So hands are slightly wider than your shoulders. Your head is down. Toes come up towards the sky. I'm just going to swish the legs from side to side. So opening up into the back of the pelvis. And then come back into the center. Bring your hands either side of your shoulders. As your legs come down, you're going to press through the hands and rise up into your cobra pose. Doesn't matter how high. And then as you exhale, rolling all the way down. So lengthening through the front body. And then take 2 more like this. Press down into the palms, rising with the nape of the neck. Lift the chest, lift the gaze. Exhale, come all the way down. 1 more, inhale, rise up. And then exhale to come down. Hands underneath your shoulders. Press back super slow into a child's pose. Forehead onto the ground. Feeling your body on the mat. And then making your way back into a downward facing dog when you're ready. And then tiptoe your way to the front of your mat, find a forward fold. And then we're going to inhale to rise all the way up. So just come to stand somewhere on your mat. I'm just going to see if there's anyone else waiting. No, cool. Come to the top of your mat, place your hands on your hips. Place your hands on your hips. Bring the weight into the left foot. You're going to pick up the right foot. So right thigh is parallel to the ceiling. You want to engage your left glute to support your hips. It's going to start to take some rolls through the ankle. So there should be some snap, crackle, pops. That's okay. That's just little pockets of air escaping from the joints. Then you can extend the leg and point and flex the foot, spread the toes. And then can you take this movement, it's okay if you fall over, into a full hip rotation. So you really want to externally rotate. You're using this supporting leg to find buoyancy so you can move the rest of the body. Make sure there's activation in your toes. You can take your arms away if you like. You can become more explorative with the movement. So you can really go anywhere that your body allows you with this restriction of the one leg on the floor, but we're mainly focusing on hip here. Nice, guys. Start to slow it down. You can bring your hands onto your hips if you find that more supportive. Going to externally rotate this hip, flex the foot. Place your right just above your ankle on top of your left knee. You're going to bend into the left leg, stick your bum out. And then you start to lean the chest forward. So the chest comes forward and the bum comes back. You can stay with the hands here. You can bring the hands onto the shin. If you have enough space, you can bring the elbows. Doesn't matter, you can be here, that's totally cool. If you have a lot of space, then how does it feel to bring the fingertips down onto the ground? Making sure this right foot is flexed. Couple more breaths. Really press that right knee down towards the ground so you open up into the outer edge of the glute. And then see if you can come up. Place the right foot down mindfully. Nice, bring your hands onto your hips. Feet wide apart, big circles, one way and then the other. Don't know what song you're on, but it's quite a good one if you're on the same one as me. Big circles through the hips. How much bigger can you make them? And then bring the feet back to hip width distance. Coming onto the other side, press down through the right foot, left leg lifts. So when you come into this position, you kind of want to hug the belly very slightly in towards the spine, just to support your core and your hips. Engage the glute of the standing leg, flex the left toe back towards the face. Big circles with the ankle. Spread the toes. How can you start to bring sensation into the sole of the foot? And then we're going to take this into a hip rotation. External, whoo, mine just did a big old clank. All the way. And then how creative can you get? Doesn't matter if you fall, hopefully you've got enough space, don't knock any like bookshelves over or plants or anything. And just notice how you can kind of use the activation of the rest of the body to make everything else stable. Nice, guys, slow it down. Soft bend into the standing leg, externally rotate. If you feel you need to take hold of this left foot, you can. Place it on top of your right knee. Right here. The left sole of the foot flexes back, hands on hips. Send the sit bones back. Woo! I'm falling over. Heart space forward. Hands can be in prayer. If you're super yogi today, your hands can be on your shins, your elbows can be on your shins, or you can come all the way down. And then when you're ready, rising all the way up. And then gently release. Come to stand at the front of your mat. Charlie's shaking. I see Charlie. Is that Charlie shaking? Yeah, it is. Okay, let's all do a shake. Shake your hands, shake your legs, shake your hips. You can take a deep breath in and woo, through the mouth. You can do that 2 more times. Woo, 1 more time. Woo, and then come to stillness. Just allow your body to do nothing. Feel the beating of the heart, the heat in the body. I'm really out of breath as well. Are we ready? Cool. Inhale, sweep the arms up, palms to touch. Exhale, come all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale, bend the knees in front. Stepping back into high plank. You can either bring the knees down, find a cobra. If you want to take a chaturanga, you can. I'm going to bring the knees down and come all the way down. Hands slightly wider than your mat, feet down on the floor. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, come down. Hands underneath shoulders, we're going to come into a tabletop position. So arriving back in your tabletop, stack your bones, stack your joints. You're going to bring the knees together. So knees and feet together. You can't really see my belly, but you're going to pull the belly in towards the spine. So you've got some nice tension there to support. And then you're going to lengthen the left leg behind you. So you want to keep your hips reasonably level here. Activate your back foot. And then as you exhale, you're going to bring the knee to the nose under the body. Press through the palms. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale to come. So press through the palms to create space as you turn in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale to come. Inhale to lengthen. And then from here, you're going to turn the left toes down. You're going to bring the, depending on how much space you have, I don't really have much. You're going to bring the left leg out to the side, touch the toes down, and then cross it over the right leg. Touch it down beside you. This kind of toe tap side to side. Keeping the middle of the body stable. One more. And then reach it back. Then you're going to see if you can lift this left hand away and then step the left foot to the front of the mat. So fingertips frame the front foot, knee and top of the foot down on the floor. And you're just going to move forwards and backwards. It's going to look very different for everybody. Just kind of exploring how your hips feel today. And then you can keep doing this, or if you're with me, fingertips onto the ground. You're going to tuck your back toe, lift your back knee. I'm going to kick out through the back heel, and then drop your pelvis a little bit further down, so you can really feel the opening on the right-hand side of the hip flexor. So you kind of might want to walk this left foot out slightly so the belly can come inside of the right foot. Chest lifts. You should feel quite a big opening. Keep breathing. And then lower it back down. You're going to walk that left foot into the center again. We're going to rise up into a low lunge. So press down through this front foot, spread the toes. As you inhale, we're going to rise up. So you can keep the back foot on the floor, or you can tuck the toes, whatever feels most comfortable for you. I want you to bring the arms over and back towards the ears, engage your right glutes, and then very, very gently start to bring the hips forward. And as you bring the hips forward, can you lift the chest and lift the gaze? Keep pressing down through the front foot and peeling the belly away from the front of the thigh. As you exhale, bring the hands down to frame the foot. You're going to bring the right hand inside of your left foot. You're going to tuck your back toe, lift your back knee like we did before. And we're going to take a twist to open to the left-hand side. So left fingertips reach up. Shoulders are broad on the back body. Can you sink the hips a little bit deeper, twist the body a little bit further, gaze to the ceiling. And then left fingertip comes down inside of your right foot this time, so the right foot's walking out. And then you're going to see if from here you can just come to squat at the front of your mat. So you're going to use that back foot to step to the front. More in a squat. Just go squat, can be heels lifted, it can be heels on the ground, it doesn't matter. You just don't want to feel like you're doing this. It's a nice length through the lower back. Fingertips onto the ground and then just find some movement, spreading the toes. Shifting the weight from side to side, maybe the shoulders want to get involved a bit. And then maybe your hands come away from the ground and you kind of see where your balance is today. Again, doesn't matter if you fall over. Maybe you lift the sit bones a couple of inches away from the heels. Thigh burn, do it one more time. Ah! Nice, guys, keep breathing. And then just come back into the center, settle down. You're gonna bring your right hand inside of your right knee. Press the back of your arm into the right knee, thigh, yeah. Then you're gonna open the body up. So you're using the chest to turn the rib cage. And then your arm is opening up here. You can stay here. If you'd like to see if you can go a little bit further, you can drop that right shoulder inside of your right knee. People who are working with binds in their practice, you can take the left hand behind you, tuck it inside of your right thigh. This is definitely not a necessary thing to do, it's just an option. And then wherever you are, slowly release, come back through center. Take a breath in, and take a breath out through the mouth. Other side, left hand comes down, press the left back of your arm into your left thigh. Inhale, turn the chest and open the body up. Big, expansive breaths. If you want to take it a little further, you can slide the left shoulder inside of your left knee, reach the left arm maybe out a little bit further, bend the top elbow, reach behind. And then coming back through the center, back into your squat. And from here, you're just going to lift the sit bone towards the sky, find a forward fold, bring your feet parallel and hip width distance apart. Inhale, find a halfway lift, so fingertips onto shins, lengthen through the spine. And exhale, fold. Inhale to rise all the way up. Sweep your arms over your head. And then exhale, coming all the way down. Inhale, another halfway lift, lengthen through the spine. And then exhale, come down. Both hands onto the floor, stepping back into your high plank. And just coming straight back to downward facing dog. Wiggle through the hips. Wiggle the knees. And then coming back down onto your tabletop position. Going on to the other side. So from here, knees together. We're going to extend the right leg behind us this time. So right leg extends, hips are even. Press down through the palms as you exhale, knee to nose under the body. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to curl. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale to curl. Inhale to lengthen. Keeping the pelvis steady, belly in towards the spine, flex your foot. Bring it out to the side as far as you can without compromising the shoulders or the hips. And then back. Other side. Couple more times. One more time. And then back. Shift your weight into your left hand. Can you float the right fingertips away and step the right foot to the front of the mat? Fingertips frame the foot to start to move the body forwards and backwards. You can lift the front foot away and then flex the toes back towards the face, maybe finding a nice lengthening in the back of the hamstring. And then you can continue with this, if you're with me, tucking the back toe, lifting the back knee. Walking that right foot out slightly, so you have space for the belly. I'm going to kick back through the left heel and then drop the pelvis. Chest is forward, so you should feel a big, big opening into the left-hand side of the hip flexor, which is the muscle on the front of the hip. One more breath. And then lower it down. Walk the right foot in slightly, untuck the toe, you can keep it tucked. We're going to press down into the front foot, rise up, low lunge. Engage the left glute to support your lower back. Press down into this front foot, belly away from the thigh. Arms up and then slowly coming forward. Open through the chest. And then exhale, coming all the way down. Hands inside of your foot this time, so you're gonna have to walk the right foot out slightly. Tuck your back toe, lift your back knee. Left foot is gonna come in line with the right foot and then open up. So right fingertips towards the top of the room, sink the pelvis down, turn the chest. And then slowly coming all the way down. I'm going to step back into a downward facing dog from here. Little wiggles through the hips. Bring your knees down onto the ground. Seat to heels, find child's pose. And then slowly rolling up to sit on your heels, just like we did before. You're going to reach the right arm up behind you. It's going to plant down onto the ground like we did at the beginning, and then you're going to lift the pelvis up towards the sky. As you exhale, this left hand is going to come down and around and swoop over to the other side. Inhale, rising up. One more time on each side. Swooping around. Inhale, open up. And then all the way back. One more time. And then coming down. So you're going to sink your sit bones down to one side. Bring your legs out in front of you. Soles of the feet on the floor. Fingertips can be out, back, or forward, whatever feels best for your shoulders. I'm going to lift the chest towards the ceiling, so nice buoyancy there. And then just swim, screen the knees side to side. So releasing the hips. And then come back into the center. So set your feet so they're around hip width distance apart. So from the front, it would look something like this-ish. Again, hands, side, front, back, whatever's good on your shoulders. We're just going to lift the pelvis towards the sky for a reverse tabletop. From here, you're going to sink the sit bones down towards the heels and then come back. So do this a couple of times. This can be a rocking-like motion if you like. If it feels good, you can release the neck back, but you definitely don't need to. One more time. And then exhale, come all the way down. Cool. So you're going to stay lengthways on your mat. You're going to bring your legs slightly out. Well, you're going to extend your legs out in front of you. If you know you round in the lower back, you can sit on your cushion again. Oh. Toes flex back towards the face. Hands on hips. You're going to see whether you can pick up the right leg, swing it out to the side, bend the knee, and then place the right sole of the foot onto the inner edge of your thigh. If you need to use the hand, that's also fine. Nice, guys. So just get comfy, find your sit bones. Make sure that this left toe is flexed back towards the face. You want your body to not be twisted over either of the legs. You want it to be neutral in your hip. Place your left hand on top of your thigh, and then we're going to reach the right arm up towards the sky. Then you're just going to slide this left hand down the leg as far as feels good. And then as soon as you feel like this is enough for you, you're going to use this hand to turn the body. So the hips stay neutral, but we come into this twist. Reach the right fingertips up towards the ceiling. And then if you can slide the hand down a little bit more without losing the twist, you can. You can close your eyes. If you would like, you can find some big circles with the top arm, which creates even more space. And then eventually coming to settle, wherever you are. And really breathing into the side waist. Allowing the body to settle. And then inhale, rise all the way up. Going to place the right hand down behind you. We're just going to come into a half wild thing. So front shin comes down, left foot comes down, reach up and over. And then coming all the way down. Nice, folks. Can you replace the right foot to meet the left? Again, find some length through the lower back. Belly into spine, pick up this left leg, swing it out, bend the knee, left sole of the foot into the thigh. Wiggle around, you might need to bring your legs slightly wider or closer apart dependent on the external rotation of your hips. And again, trying to keep the body fairly neutral, not twisting over one leg or the other. And then place your right hand down onto your right thigh. Sliding it down as far as feels comfortable, lifting the left arm up, and then using this hand to really turn the chest. So hips are nice and neutral, and then maybe creating even more space by circling the left arm up and round. And then finding stillness. And can you just allow your upper body to hang in space, almost like you're in some sort of salty water. Allow the breath to fill the body. Now the system settles. And then slowly rising back up. Left hand softly places down behind you, left shin presses down, pelvis lifts. One breath here. And then exhale, come all the way down. Bring your legs out in front of you. You can remove or keep your pillow. And then just find a forward fold, but just a really lazy one over the fronts of the legs. Chin can turn in towards the chest. And then slowly roll up to sit on the sit bones. My playlist might have run out now because I've actually gone over time. Thought I'd only give you 45 minutes. If you can go back to the last song, if you are playing the playlist, it's going to be our Shavasana song. So, soles of the feet on the floor, reach the arms towards the ceiling, and then very slowly rolling the spine down onto the ground. Bring the knees in towards the chest, give yourself a big squeeze, rock side to side. And then anything you think you need, whether it's kind of a small bridge pose, whether you want to take a twist. It's kind of yogi's free movement right now. I just tend to roll around a little bit. It's quite nice actually not being in the studio because you're not going to kick your neighbor in the face. Have a roll, have a stretch, have a sigh. And then eventually making your way to your Shavasana, whatever that looks like for you. Soles of the feet on the floor or legs out in front of you. And as you come to the floor, you allow everything to settle. So almost like you're this wave and you've been churned up. And then as you come onto the shore, all the sand starts to settle. And if you can imagine all this sand really sinking the back of the body down into the ground as you start to become one with the earth. And close down your eyes. Take a deep breath in. And exhale through the mouth. Deep breath in. And exhale through the mouth. One more deep breath in. And exhale. And just allow everything to settle. No gripping in the hips. Maybe you need to open and close the jaw a couple of times to release through the mouth. Your shoulders be heavy. Weight of the brain and the skull. Take another deep breath in. And exhale. And just feeling the subtleties of breathing. The lungs might start to feel a little bit fuller. You feel the buzzing energy that you've created during our virtual practice today. And start to blink open the eyes. Take a deep breath. And allow the exhale to initiate movement. So reaching the arms over the head, full body stretch. Yawn. And the knees in towards the chest, give yourself a squeeze, and then just come to meet you back in a seated position. And relax the shoulders, ground down through the sit bones. Lengthen through the spine, but again, can you feel that non-gripping in the hips and the lower back? Take a deep breath in. And exhale through the mouth. Inhale, sweep your arms over your head, palms to touch. Gather your energy into your heart center, press your thumbs in towards your chest. Take another deep breath in. And release. And as we close today, just really take this little reset, this beginning of the week, this new Monday. See, last week was crazy, and as we start to settle into our new normal, whatever that might be for anyone here, we can always use our practice to reset and begin again. Take another deep breath. And release. Bring your thumbs into your eyes. Take a bow. And namaste, guys. Thank you so much.